Hey everybody, welcome back to the Doggone Positive Way. I'm your host, Maria Ryan, and your dog trainer, and we have a lot to talk about today. I again want to thank Barb for doing such an amazing interview with me, and what a great interview. We found out so much and learned so much. So anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about the weather, and we're going to get some updates in there. So let's just get into it. I don't need to tell you what I'm going to talk about. All right. Oh my God, with the storm that's out there, have you guys seen what's going on with, where is it? It's like, I don't think it even has a name, and it might have had a name, but look at this. Look at this mess. Look at this mess. This mess is everywhere. It hit South Carolina and a little bit of Georgia, Virginia, North Carolina. I mean, it's just getting pummeled out there. And there is a lot of flooding. There are roads that are being wiped out. I saw a picture or video or picture of like a truck, like an SUV that just went head first into a big separation in the road. That's really scary. And flash flooding is it's called flash flooding for a reason. It just happens. So sometimes you're just like stuck, and it's just so scary. So send your thoughts out to everybody and your prayers. The other thing I wanted to show you guys is we've got this out here in the Atlantic. Hello, Gordon. It's headed west right now, 3 miles an hour. I really hope it does this and just leaves everybody alone. But even though this is technically like September, October, it's like, oh, we should be kind of calming down. This is like the peak time of hurricane season. So you guys have to be prepared. You have to be prepared. And let me just tell you, whether it's hurricane season or not, the weather out there is insane. It's really crazy right now. So don't forget that we have to be prepared, especially if you have pets. Take care of them like they're your children, because they are furry children, and they're part of our family, and we need to take care of them. So let's get into the main topic here. I just wanted to also touch on the fact that I did a search and even paid for like $1, nothing crazy, for a background search on Nikki Camerlengo, the dog trainer who was arrested, and then she turned herself in last month, I believe it was, end of July, the beginning of August. And I can't find anything. I've done searches. I've contacted the local sheriff's department. I put in a request, and it was like, oh, we don't have anything. And I'm like, come on, man, you have stuff. So I can't find anything. And what I pulled up on, what is it? It's Crime Time online. It was like, let me get over here so I can share this with you. I just want to see what the heck is going on with this lady. Let's see, here's an overview. So this is what came up, Nicole Ann Champy. And these are her stats, and she's got aliases. I don't know I don't know what's going on with this. That's like a lot of names, a lot of aliases. This is her father, so I'm not sure why that would be listed there. But in any case, I did not find anything. I did the criminal and traffic, and all that came up was ran a red light camera thing, like 2 or 3 of them. So I can't find anything updated. I reached out to the oh my goodness, what's her name? Kate Hussey. one of the reporters that's been reporting on her, and to see if she wanted to kind of do some investigative work together. I haven't heard back from her. I really think it's important that we start passing some legislation for dog trainers and groomers and just animal professionals. There is no licensure for dog trainers and groomers other than your local, like, your county, state stuff, and that's just like any business has that. It doesn't matter, it could be a cookie business and you have that. So that doesn't hold a lot. But I just want you to know that I am investigating all of these things. So get prepared for these storms. And if you guys know anything about this dog trainer, I would love to hear from you. Anyway, my video is draggy. It's kind of annoying, so I'm not sure what's going on. I've restarted a bunch of times, so we'll see. Anyway, so the other thing that I saw in the news this morning was that there are dogs that have been rescued in Pinellas County. There was a huge drug bust. It was, what did they get? They got, well, it was an undercover cop went in and took video and, was really instrumental, obviously, in busting this whole thing open. But they had meth, cocaine, fentanyl, and MDMA. And a lot of that stuff was being shipped in via FedEx. So that's kind of interesting that they were getting that through the mail. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, what also the officer found was a dog fighting ring. So I want to give you a couple trigger warnings today, because this that I'm going to show, and I'm going to do a reaction to a dog bite case. It's graphic. So if you're not, just fast forward. So I am going to pull up this video just to show you a little segment of it. So there were 111 dogs that were rescued from this house, and it was in Pinellas County, like Largo, Clearwater, Roosevelt, and or East Bay, and 19. So if you know where that is, then you know what I'm talking about. So this is Sheriff Holloway is going to be coming up here. Oh, where did it go? Oh, it disappeared. Well, isn't that special? Oh, there it is.
Thank you, Sheriff. And I just want to echo exactly what Sheriff Gualtieri was talking about, is the partnership here in Pinellas County, not only with the state attorney's office, but also with Commissioner Glass. Word I want to say before we get started is, you want to bring your drugs to Pinellas County, you want to sell here, it's just a matter of time. And we got time on our side. And what I mean by that is, we may not get you today, we may not get you tomorrow, but sooner or later, we're going to come knocking on your door, or we're going to flashbang your door, and we're going to take you out of Pinellas County, because we do not want that in our area. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is really about our part of the case where we worked along with the Sheriff's Office and FDLE. First thing I want to say is, dog fighting is brutal, inhumane practice that inflicts immense pain and suffering on innocent animals. And that's when we start looking at what these guys and what these men and women were doing to the animals in our area. So back in November of 23, our narcotic unit started working with FDLE because we knew a subject by the name of Mr. Small. He was a known fentanyl and cocaine trafficker in our area, and he had several associates. The detectives did a great job. They started following Mr. Small around and his associate, and they were able to identify numerous locations. But the issue was Mr. Small moved from day to day because he was afraid that he was going to get caught. But the detectives did a great job of continuing to follow Small around. During that investigation, they found out not only was Mr. Small selling narcotics, but there was a drug operation going on. You can hear more about that in a few minutes, about Mr. Coswell that was involved in it. So in April of 2024 of this year, we began a long-term investigation, not only looking at Mr. Small for the narcotics, but we also started looking at the dog fighting operation. And that's where we were able to identify Coswell as the person that was leading on this dog fighting. Now, it was not only here in Hillsborough, in Pinellas County, they were doing dog fighting in Hillsborough County, Manatee, Apalachicola County, and also in Georgia. They were moving these dogs all about. So I'm going to show you a video right now to show you exactly how they had it set up. Yeah. So last week on July 18th, we did a raid. These were the animals that we found there. As you can see in the backyard, they had kennels set up. Kennels set up for this operation. We recovered more than 111 dogs. 111 dogs that were used for this dog fighting. The apparatus you see there, that was the apparatus they used for breeding the dogs.
That's a fucking rape machine. Hello. So they fucking strap the female into that. They do this shit with horses. I saw this on some sick show on Netflix. But anyway. And, you know, then they bring the male dog and...
The other apparatus you see are treadmills where they would train the dog so the dog could have long one and be able to fight for a long period of time. I want you to take a look at this picture. I want you to remember this picture right here. This is what a dog looked like in 2023, and look at this dog right now. So as the sheriff was saying earlier.
All right, that's all I'm gonna share about that because it's so ridiculous. But you know, that shit's real. That's just, it's crazy, and I don't understand. First of all, if you know, I used to live in Pinellas County, so that area is like high traffic. It's not like some quiet, out the way, you know, country, whatever. So I don't know. People didn't hear barking, didn't hear fighting. And you know, the drugs are like out of fucking control. It's ridiculous. They're like just everywhere. The overdoses are everywhere, you know. People are just, you know, addicted as fuck. And there is that commingling of child abuse. They also busted up some human trafficking. They found women, several women, I can't remember how many, that were being trafficked, and 111 dogs. So it's not just the drugs, you know, it's not just all this shit. It's, you know, it's the dog abuse, the animal abuse, the greed, the gambling, the human trafficking and child abuse, and just, you know, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's all I'm going to say on that whole topic. But let's get into this other video. Again, trigger warning. We're going to watch this video. It's a court case. Judge Judy, a Yorkie, was attacked by a German Shepherd. And there is video of the attack. So let me share this here. And believe it or not, this has to do with emotional support animals.
Allows you to stay with him?
Mm-hmm.
Do you live there full time?
Yes,
What kind of a dog do you have?
a German Shepherd.
And you have a Yorkie.
Turkey, yes.
This is what your case is about, that you had taken the Yorkie out grocery shopping?
No,
Yes.
I had taken my partner to work.
Okay. And you took the dog with you.
Yes,
What date and what time?
on July 31st, 2023, and it was about 7:30 a.m.
And you drove him to work. About how
Yes.
far is that from the house?
About 15 minutes.
Tell me what happened when you came home.
When I came home, I had Teddy in my arms.
Teddy is the dog.
Teddy is a dog. Teddy is, at that time, he was 9 months old, a Yorkie. I had him in my arms before reaching my doorway. He was actually taken.
Walk over.
Can
Would
I
you
walk?
walk over? Yeah, that
Yes.
would be helpful to me.
So I parked right here
In the front of the
in the
house.
front of my house. I walked through my doorway, my walkway.
You can go closer to there. Show me
Okay.
exactly. You parked in front of your house.
Yes. I
And
was
walked
walking-
towards the front door in the walkway.
Yes, about right here. I felt a very strong presence to the side of me. It was Nicole's German Shepherd. He actually took Teddy from my arms. Teddy was dragged. He was thrown all throughout right here. He was actually dragged all right here as well in front of my lawn. Teddy was yapping. He was, crying for help. At that time, my first instinct reaction was to, try to help my puppy, try to save him. But I could not do that because I was 9 months pregnant.
Wow. Can you imagine?
At that time, I'm calling for help. I'm asking
Well,
someone please
I want to
help
ask
my
you a
dog.
question. German Shepherd's a very big dog.
Yes.
And so I want you to try to explain to me. You say you were holding Teddy and the German Shepherd came and grabbed the dog.
Yes. So I was holding Teddy like this. He's a puppy. He's very tiny. The German Shepherd actually grabbed him from my arms, pulled him. He was bitten. He was shaken up all on the lawn.
But you were standing.
Yes, I was standing.
Okay, now you can go back.
Okay.
So you were trying to rescue your dog.
Yes. My first instinct reaction was to try to hit the dog or try to move him away. But I was 9 months pregnant. I could not, put myself in that danger or my baby in that danger. I called out for help. What was probably seconds felt like minutes. Nicole came over and grabbed her dog.
Now go back over there and show me when Nicole came out, where she grabbed the dog.
So Nicole was standing right here. I was right here. You can't really see the picture, but I was over here with the German Shepherd was, biting my dog. Nicole came from this way and grabbed him, called out for him, Diego, and pulled him out. By that time, Teddy was already under my car.
That's what and what your lawsuit seeks are the actual punitive damages that you allege you sustained as a result of the dog attack. You do have all of the vet bills.
I do.
Okay. Now, Cervantes, go over to your house and show me your version of what happened that day.
Okay. Well, first off,
Not first off.
okay.
Start out with, we know that your dog's outside.
Okay.
And we know that your dog did not have a leash
Mhm.
when the dog was outside. So I want you to start at your front door.
Okay. So I was leaving for work.
You were at the front.
We were both inside. At the
You were
time.
both
We
inside.
were both inside
Okay,
at the time.
so point to the front door.
Right here.
You were both inside
hmm
and you opened the door.
Yeah, I was getting ready to leave for work.
Okay, and you opened the door. You weren't taking the dog to work.
No.
And,
And I was leaving.
no, careful.
Okay.
You opened the door to go to work and the dog ran out of the door. Simple, so that I understand it. You opened the door to get out to work and your dog was now on the front porch,
Mhm.
at least for a moment.
hmm
And then what happened?
Well, their dog was being aggressively barking.
Shh, just a second.
Okay.
When you came out, so I assume you came out to get your dog.
Yeah, I was leaving for work.
Well, if
And
you were leaving for work, you weren't taking the dog with you.
No.
Okay, so you
So
if
when
the
I
dog
opened
is
the
now
door-
outside,
Mhm.
you have to get the dog back inside.
Yes.
Okay, and her
Dog training 101. Teach your dog a sit stay at the door. It's real simple. Sit, stay, reinforce the dog on the inside of the house. You can do this in a couple different ways. You can teach your dog how to sit and stay under the distraction of your hand going to the handle. If they sit and stay, give them a cookie. Work it up to where you're able to open the door. Your dog is still sitting and staying. When you practice this, you better damn well have a leash on your dog so your dog doesn't get out of the house and hit by a car or run away, unless you have like a fenced in backyard or whatever. Okay, so use common sense. Let's be smart about this and teach your dog a sit stay at the door. Damn it. when the door is closed, when it's open a little bit, when it's cracked open, when it's accidentally left open, etc., etc., etc. Future-proof your dog for when anybody comes into your house, your dog sits and stays. Period. All right, let's get back to the case.
Her dog was barking.
Mm-hmm.
Show me where her dog was when it was barking. Careful. Be very, very careful. Show me on the diagram where the dog was when the dog was barking.
So the dog
If
was.
you didn't, and see, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory, and then you're not made to look foolish.
Yeah.
You did not see what caused the dog to bark initially. Did you see the Yorkie puppy in your neighbor's hands?
No,
Okay.
the dog was, okay.
So you show me where the dog was. You opened the door. Your dog got out.
So their dog comes into our yard.
Tell me not interested in yesterday.
Okay.
The day before yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
That day, your dog got out without a leash.
Mm-hmm.
You said her dog was barking.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be very careful and point on that where the dog was when you heard it barking.
They were over here.
Point it. No, that's
this area over here.
Keep going. Keep moving over.
Okay.
So they were in front of their house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did your dog do?
So my dog went over. He did not grab the dog out of her.
Don't tell me what he didn't do.
Okay.
Don't tell me what he didn't do. Your dog ran over to the front of the house where her dog was.
Okay.
And now you can go back.
Okay.
Your Honor.
I don't want to hear from you.
Okay.
Yet. Go. So now your dog, which weighs 80 pounds, has run over to the 9-month-old Yorkie puppy that maybe weighs 3 pounds. And what happened?
Well, the dog was barking and being aggressive. My dog, when I got there, my dog had his paws crossed and he was just holding the dog down as if to say, calm down. I grabbed him and I brought him back and put him in the house.
Okay.
This lady's fucking delusional. There is on no planet that a dog darts out and it's the other dog's fault, first of all, for being a dog and barking. So what? The dog was barking. Does that mean your dog has to run up to that person and grab that puppy out of her arms? Literally, how predacious is that shit? She's holding the dog. What if it was a baby? Oh my God. What if it was her baby crying? What the hell? And let's blame them. Let's blame the dog. Not you, not your dog.
Okay, now I'll see the vet report.
Okay. So I actually have video evidence, if it's possible to show you.
Absolutely.
The incident.
Absolutely.
The video is graphic. The volume is on. So if you don't want to watch it, just fast forward a little bit. We're at about, I don't know, we got to do a little editing, maybe around 23 minutes. So 22 minutes around there, just kind of, keep your eye out on it. I don't want to traumatize anybody. But video evidence is amazing. So
Absolutely.
Your Honor, you asked for the vet bills?
Yes.
Well,
Can you put it on the monitor? Oh, that's from your Ring camera.
yes, Your Honor.
Play it again. Did you know this Ring camera video existed? Well, then why would you stand there and lie and be stupid?
He wasn't lying.
Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. I don't see you running over there and your dog is sitting there with its paws over to protect the little dog. What kind of stupidity is that if you saw this video?
I was right there. I seen it when I grabbed it.
Well, are you telling me that this video has been doctored? Is that what you're telling me?
No, but you can't really see.
Yeah, I can see everything. Let's play it again.
Okay.
Maybe she needs glasses. Did you report this incident?
Woo, that's upsetting. Should have never fucking happened. Like, seriously, people, like, what is your problem? You know, and the poor dog, the poor little dog is like, you know, fucking smart as all get out and running under the car to get away. And the fact that the woman was pregnant, like the dog, that was so upsetting. So the dog was smart enough to get himself under the car, thank God. The woman is all like, I've got my bags on my shoulder. I don't know what the hell she was doing. I don't know what the hell took her so fucking long to get there. And the poor woman that had her little dog is pregnant. I mean, I still am going back to how Diego, the German Shepherd, walked up to her, grabbed the dog. You know, she's 9 months pregnant, so she's, you know, got a big enough belly, right? And she's holding the dog. And I just, going back to that again, sorry, it's just ridiculous.
Incident?
I did.
To whom?
To
Animal control?
animal control.
Did you get a report?
I did.
May I see it if you have it?
I don't have that. I
Okay.
apologize.
Were you seen by animal control?
Mhm.
Did they
I wish she had it.
cite your dog?
They
Did you get a letter from them?
No, they basically told me I needed to get my
Don't-
dog license, so I went the next
Don't-
week to get my dog license.
How's Teddy today?
He's doing better.
I'm not seeing a bill. I'm seeing reports.
Here's the thing. Because it was a dog-to-dog issue, I'm pretty sure that that's why it was like, oh, your dog's not licensed. Well, they better get licensed. You know, is your dog up to date on the shots? La, 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 la. Whole nother story if this woman who is pregnant is holding her baby and Diego comes up and does that when the baby's crying.
Now, after this incident occurred, did you reach out to Ms. Cervantes about paying this vet bill?
Yes, we did.
How far after the incident?
So after the incident, we did wait a week until my partner came home from work. He was out traveling. So we went with the first bills, the one that you see, the 1,000 plus the 500. We did ask for, you know, this was the first bill. There's going to be several bills after that. She did.
Just a second. And since it's clear that your dog was the aggressor based on that film, you understand that, despite what you tried to tell me, which was inaccurate.
Okay.
Totally inaccurate and totally dissimilar from what you wrote in your answer to this. So one of them was a lie. Okay. I was happy to have video proof of what the reality was.
Mm-hmm.
That will eventually cost you, but you know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So why didn't you pay this bill?
At the time, I couldn't afford to. I didn't have the money to do so.
Well, did you say, I'll take care of the bill and I'll pay the vet $50 a month or $100 a month until the bill is paid?
I offered to say maybe we could split it, and I could
Why
try
would you want to split it? It's not her fault. She was carrying her dog.
Well, like,
Would you fucking split a bill with somebody who it is 100% your fault?
I said, I didn't have the money to pay it right then and there.
No. Well,
I just, you
how
know,
long was the dog in the hospital?
He was there for that day, but he had to go every 2 to 3 days to get his bandaged.
What kind of work do you do?
Property management.
How much do you get paid a week?
oh my God, she's a fucking property manager. Okay, this gets even better.
Well, with taxes and everything, about $1,700
$1,700 a what? A week?
every 2 weeks.
And your brother allows you to live in the house. Do you pay him rent?
Well, I moved back after my father had passed away. He was taking care of my mom. I moved back to be there with her. So that's where I used my money to help take care of my mom since my dad passed away.
No, you don't.
And he was the only one working.
How long do you have your dog?
I've had him for 4 years. He's actually registered as my emotional support animal.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Emotional support animals don't attack other dogs.
Thank you.
Emotional support animals don't attack people and other dogs. So that's baloney. He became an emotional support animal because you applied over the internet for an emotional support dog? Let me understand this. I've been through this drill a dozen times. You applied through the internet for an emotional dog certificate. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were given a psychiatrist, allegedly, so that you could tell the psychiatrist why you needed an emotional support dog. Correct. That's not a That's a correct. And the psychiatrist, or allegedly, you pay, correct?
No, I didn't pay.
Well, you pay for that service.
You
You paid for the service.
You paid.
I didn't. It didn't charge
Yes,
me.
yes, yes, yes. You're lying.
Nah.
Okay.
Now, in what state do you live?
California.
Does you have homeowners insurance?
I have renter's insurance. I don't own the home, so I don't. We have homeowners insurance, but it's not in my name.
That's right. But you have homeowners and you have renters insurance.
Yes.
And you are aware that there are certain breeds of dogs that increase your premiums on your homeowners.
German Shepherd, Dobermans, Rottweilers, Pit Bulls. What's the other one?
Insurance.
No, I didn't know that. They didn't mention anything about.
Those are the breeds. They didn't mention anything because you didn't tell them. And your brother didn't tell them either.
Oh, really, really interesting. Because usually when you have an emotional support dog, who is the dog emotionally supporting, you or your mother?
Me.
Well, you were going to work without the dog. You mean it only supports you after work?
Well, I don't know. I don't take him to work. No.
So he only supports you when you come home from work.
Yeah, I guess so.
The line is so bad.
I have to tell you, there's a restaurant here that will remain nameless in Los Angeles that finally had the guts to put up a sign that said, if you require a service dog, it has to be a service dog in this restaurant for a reason. That Midler used to tell an absolutely hysterical story about a service dog that was a Chihuahua. And the punchline was, I'll never forget the punchline. She says, they gave me a Chihuahua as a service dog. That's ridiculous. And actually, you know that. Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,000. We're finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you. This court is adjourned.
It is what it is. It's, I guess we'll just have to go with it.
I'm actually really happy. I think, we got what we deserve.
Yeah, I think it looked worse than it actually was.
Oh, he had a punctured lung. He had...
It was worse than it actually was. It's like, yeah, guess what? It was worse than what you thought it was. Should be the correct statement coming out of your mouth. Like they made this shit up. The vet made this up.
Actually a wound on his stomach.
Their dog tends to be a little bit more aggressive.
I cannot stand this woman.
And he actually had a fractured rib as well.
He's super sweet and he's never hurt anybody.
Not at all. There's video proof of it. You could clearly see her German Shepherd grab my tiny Yorkie out of my hands.
And just get along and live peacefully.
Hopefully we could go back to normal. Before the incident happened, we were actually, her mom would bring us cookies. So we hope to be back to the same.
The fact that a person says that they need something to emotionally support them other than pills doesn't suggest that the animal has been trained as an emotional support animal.
Not the same as a service dog, which has very rigid...
Right, which is bred...
For that purpose.
For that purpose.
Sometimes 3 years goes into training.
Trained for that purpose. And so, if a service dog, because you are unsighted or for any other reason is with you in a restaurant, that dog is going to be a safe dog
and
around
it is
your
safe.
Children or around the elderly who may be unsteady.
But somehow these emotional support animals have followed in the line of the service dog, but without all the same requirements. So as we've seen, you don't know what you're getting.
My problem is really a bigger one because service dogs, are a wonderful asset for people who have legitimate deficiencies and have to rely on an animal for every day. And when people started to abuse those privileges, I like to take my dog on the plane. Can't take my dog on the plane unless it's a service dog. Well, then a whole business crops up on the internet. she's full of baloney when she says she didn't pay any money. Nobody ever sees the dog. Nobody ever sees you except maybe on a Zoom for 2 minutes.
Sure.
And then writes a letter to those, whatever governmental agency where you live gives you a license as an emotional support animal. And ergo, you can take your dog, this German Shepherd who almost ate a Yorkie, on a plane and sit next to you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't sit next to it, but could sit next to some unsuspecting person. And the dog has a propensity to be vicious. And that's because people do the wrong thing. A law that was enacted and on the books to help people, there are always bad people who will twist and turn a well-intentioned law to suit their own selfish purposes.
And they don't care about the rest of us.
They don't care about the rest of us, so you got to build more jails. That's the answer.
He started sending me pictures.
Okay, Judge Judy's like, build more jails. Maybe that is the answer, Judge Judy. I'm not sure. All right, let me get rid of that. And so, of course, I looked up the law. Let me share these screens with you. This is nolo.com. Can you guys see this? Okay, yeah. Okay, so an emotional support animals in public accommodations like housing. Both Florida and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, defines ESA as any animal that provides emotional support, alleviating one or more symptoms or effects of a person's disability. Although ESAs often have therapeutic benefits, they are not individually trained to perform specific tasks. This is the language that you guys need to know, that they are not trained to perform specific tasks for their handler. So the ADA and state service animal laws don't cover them. So they're not covered under the ADA at all. So you know what? Let's just look up the ADA right now. I don't know why I didn't pull that up. I guess I was more like, let me see the Florida statute also. So let's see. Okay, so this that I just read you is nolo.com, which is a legal encyclopedia. Okay, so let's go to the ADA's website. Are we sharing? We're sharing. All right, guys. I love doing this shit with you guys. I hope you guys are still listening. This is kind of cool. You know, just doing research with my friends is how I feel. Okay, service animals, resources, ADA stat. Let's just see service animals. And I know they talk about emotional support animals. Okay. Okay, service animals are not required to be certified, required to wear a vest. They're not emotional support or comfort dogs because providing emotional support or comfort is not a task. So it's not a measurable task. Okay, and people are like, well, what about the ADA? The ADA. What about PTSD and service animals? PTSD is very specific, and dogs that are trained, service dogs that are service dogs. We're just going to go dogs that are trained for people with PTSD are sensing like an environment or noises or potential things that are going to trigger their handler. So examples of service animal tasks. Let's see, where is it? More about the difference. Okay. If the dog's mere presence provides comfort, it is not a service animal under the ADA. So it's not protected under ESA. Animals are not protected under the ADA, is how I'm reading it. But if the dog is trained to perform a task related to a person's disability, it is a service animal under the ADA. For example, if the dog has been trained to sense, this is what I'm talking about with PTSD. If the dog has been trained to sense an anxiety attack is about to happen and takes a specific action to avoid the attack or lessen the impact, the dog is a service animal. Okay, that's what I used Rufus for. Rufus was specific. I was diagnosed with PTSD. When was I diagnosed with it? Officially in 2002, I believe. Pretty sure. Okay, so here we go. Examples of service animal tasks. Boom, it's right here. So you can go check out the ADA's site about ESAs. I wanted to then also take you over here. This is a Florida statute because I'm like, it doesn't seem to be very clear to me how you're protected if you have an ESA. So let's see, where is it? Where is it? It's right here. Okay, this is about living accommodations or like hotels. So reasonable accommodation requests to the extent required by federal law, rule, or regulations, it is unlawful to discriminate in the provision of housing to a person with a disability or a disability related need for and who has or at any time obtains an emotional support animal. So that's a lot of mumbo jumbo. Basically, let's see, there was another piece here. I feel like you can go through and kind of cherry pick it. An emotional support animal registration of any kind included, but not limited to, an identification card, patch, certificate, or similar registration obtained by the internet is not by itself sufficient information. This is what it was I wanted to let you guys know about. Is not itself sufficient information to reliably establish that a person has a disability or a disability related need for an emotional support animal. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna do a separate video on this because of course we're going on for so long. It you can just go online, just like Judge Judy said, and look up ESA certification. And I did a whole thing. I did a whole thing on my phone yesterday, and I'm going to share it with you guys later. I don't think I'm going to include it in this video, but anyway, yeah. So I just went online, and it's $100. You can just pay to get, your certificate to speak to a doctor supposedly licensed in my state. I don't know. It's not, to me, it's not legitimate. To me, people are using these laws that are written to suit them because they don't want to just leave their dog at home. They're entitled. They want to take their dog everywhere with them. And it's a bunch of bullshit, okay? Because if your dog is truly an emotional support animal, your emotional support animal isn't supposed to attack other animals, attack people, be disruptive, bark, growl, anything. They're just not supposed to do that. They should be as well behaved as a service animal, which means, guess what? Train your freaking dog. If you want to get your dog registered as a service animal, as an emotional support animal, freaking train your dog, man. At least set yourself and your animal up to be successful. Now, I'm wondering, going back to the court case, can these people sue the owner of the house because this woman lives in his house? She also has renter's insurance. I would freaking go for it, man, because here's the thing, like I said in the video, if she's carrying her baby and her baby is crying and that dog gets out of the house again, is that dog going to go run up to that woman holding the baby and grab the baby out of her arms and start shaking the baby and flinging it all over? Who knows? You don't know. Do you want to take that chance? No. So if you want to have a legitimate I keep saying service animal, a legitimate ESA, go through all the training, get a canine good citizen certificate on your ESA, do the proper steps. Make sure you're not trying to just take your dog wherever the hell you want to. And I really think that, like what happened with Barb, she was discriminated against because some people, old white people, had their freaking little dog in Olive Garden. Really? Okay. No, it's not cool. You guys, oh my God, this irritates the hell out of me. I'm just saying. But listen, I've gone on for such a long time. I just want you to know that you need to properly train your pets. If you want to turn them into a working dog, make sure that your dog is temperamentally sound. They're unflappable. They're not going to freak out when they hear a dog or they hear a child scream or a bike go by or a roller skater go by or a skateboarder go by, okay? You want to make sure your dog doesn't bolt out of your house. You want to train your dog anyway. But, if you want to represent ESAs, and here's the thing, these doctors that are doing this, they have not seen you. They can't, you can buy just about anything off the internet. We all know this shit, right? You can buy good stuff. The internet is great and the internet is bad all at the same time. So you can buy good stuff on the internet, you can educate yourself, or you can be, just get things that will suit your needs, like certificates from doctors who are just talking to you. They don't know any of your history. They haven't seen you in person. Are they a psychiatrist? Who the fuck knows? I don't know. It's not legitimate. If you have a legitimate thing, go to your psychiatrist, go to your medical doctor, go to your licensed therapist. The key here is licensed. The key here is in person. Once you've been established and seen in person, if you need to do a video call or anything like that, that's acceptable. But that's only because the doctor has seen you before, not because you're just, online getting this piece of paper that anybody can make and anybody could buy. So, it's a buyer beware for people who maybe just don't realize that if you want to be legitimate with it, and you should do it the right way. And the right way is seeing a doctor in person. Okay, the laws are here. They protect ESAs. The issue that I have and people like Barb have is that these ESAs are disruptive. They are aggressive. They are noisy. They are not trained, well trained. They're not trained at all, dude. Okay, so remember that. All right, I can just keep going. I can keep going on and on and on, but I'm gonna wrap it up. I've got to edit this, and I got to make some chocolate chip cookies because it's Tammy's birthday. So I wanted to make her some of those brown butter chocolate chip cookies. Oh, let's see. I'm excited. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening. You guys are awesome. I love you. You know I do. I want to hear from you. Any attorneys out there, can this couple sue the owners of that house? Because her, who is not a renter, but I guess is a renter technically, owns an aggressive dog? I don't know. I'm going to find that out. All right, you guys. Love you again. Have a doggone positive day. Bye. Oh, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe. My channel is growing, and I love it. So keep it going. Bye.